Welcome to Lim Tel Talks, a one-of-a-kind lecture series produced by Limited Intel Technologies' Rambling Thoughts division. Lim Tel Talks, where limited intelligence meets limitless imagination.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed members of the limited intelligence community, today I want to share with you a rather unconventional idea, an idea that might just change the way we think about a common issue that affects millions of people worldwide. I want to talk about baldness and its potential as an evolutionary advantage in our rapidly warming world. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Baldness is not typically associated with evolution, let alone an advantage. But bear with me, because there's a fascinating connection between our heads, heat loss, and global temperature rise that just might make you reconsider. First, let's establish a fundamental fact about our bodies. Humans lose a significant amount of heat through their heads. This idea has been ingrained in our collective consciousness for years, with parents and grandparents often reminding us to wear hats in cold weather. But where does this notion come from, and why is it relevant in the context of evolution and climate change? The concept of heat loss through the head dates back to a study conducted by the U.S. military in the 1950s. They found that when exposed to extreme cold, a person's head accounts for a substantial portion of overall heat loss, primarily because it's one of the few body parts typically left uncovered in cold weather. However, this understanding has led to a misconception that our heads are the primary source of heat loss under all conditions. In reality, our bodies lose heat relatively evenly across their surfaces, and the percentage of heat loss through the head depends on various factors, including the amount of skin exposed. Nevertheless, this belief persists, and it's this persistent belief that we'll use as a springboard for our discussion. Now, let's pivot to the global issue of climate change. We are all well aware that our planet is warming at an alarming rate, primarily due to human activities like burning fossil fuels and deforestation. This rise in temperature has far-reaching consequences, from melting glaciers and rising sea levels to more frequent and severe weather events. But what if I told you that our bodies, and specifically, our heads, might hold a unique solution to this warming problem? Here's where the unconventional idea comes into play. Imagine for a moment a world where baldness is not merely a trait, but a natural adaptation to a warming climate. In this scenario, individuals who experience hair loss might actually be better equipped to regulate their body temperature in a hotter environment. Think about it. With less hair on their heads, these individuals may lose slightly more heat through their scalps. In a world where excess body heat can be a burden, this adaptation might confer a distinct advantage. Bald heads could serve as natural radiators, helping people stay cooler in the face of rising temperatures. Of course, it's essential to remember that I am not a human heat scientist. However, it illustrates a broader point about how we perceive and adapt to the challenges posed by a changing climate. Nature has a remarkable way of providing solutions to the problems it presents. In conclusion, while we may not be able to definitively claim that baldness is an evolutionary advantage in a warming world, it's essential to remain open to creative and unconventional perspectives. Our understanding of evolution, adaptation, and the ways in which we interact with our changing environment is constantly evolving. In our quest to address the challenges of climate change, we should never underestimate the potential of the human body and the remarkable ways in which it might adapt to a warming world. Who knows? Perhaps one day, we'll look at a bald head and see not just a sign of hair loss, but a symbol of nature's resilience and our ability to adapt to a changing world. Thank you for joining me in exploring this thought-provoking idea, and I encourage you all to continue thinking outside the box as we confront the pressing issues of our time.